MyMac Podcast 909, One After.
Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's mighty MyMac Podcast. Yes, the G-Men are back in studio after I was off doing a lot of fun stuff, but Guy will show me, instead of a private plane, yacht, Spanish destination, and a 10-course meal, Guy will have a rental car that will be driven to Long Island to see a comedian and go to a museum filled with dead things. So, pretty much the same thing. Hey, Guy.
Hey. Oh, come on, StreamYard. Every time. It's like, just when I hit the magic button that's supposed to take either Gaz or me out of solo, do that. Don't go, hoo. And if you watch the video, you'll see what it does and why it drives me completely crazy. And
it's almost like a bounce effect in screen flow. Something I want to speak to you about in a minute.
The worst part of it, Gaz, I don't even have to do it because I edit this, and we're gonna go behind the scenes here a little bit. I edit this in a program called DaVinci. In DaVinci, I know the exact area of the screen where Gaz is and the exact area of the screen where I am. So using keyframes, I can just go, here's Gaz, here's Guy, but no, every single week I have to hit the solo button and have it drive me crazy when it bounces me in and out.
What can I say? Just what can I say? What can I say? Not a lot, really. So you've been on a really fantastic holiday on a nice long drive. So come on, give us all the info, because it's going to be so much more exciting than mine.
It's next week.
Oh, it's next week.
It's next week.
It's next week that you're driving to Long Island to see a comedian and then looking at a museum filled with dead things.
Yeah, and I don't even want to go to the museum filled with dead. Okay,
right.
This is the best part. One of the best parts about doing this show, Gaz, is neither your wife nor my wife listen to this show.
They do not.
They do not. So next week...
do not.
And my wife is currently out of town. But before she left, she wanted to talk about this because she has a friend who lives near Asbury Park, New Jersey. And there's a museum in Philadelphia, which is just to the south for them and to the north for us. So it's like this natural meeting place, I suppose, that we can go to. And it's called the Mutter Museum. People in Philadelphia will know what the Mutter Museum is. And this is a museum that is literally filled with dead things. It has all of these weird these human oddities. Oh, it's almost like a Ripley's Believe It or Not, except it's real. Okay? We took our kids there. When
you're full of the joys of fun, aren't you?
I know. We took our kids there when they were younger. And I think Peter was like 8 and Guy was 10. And we'd heard about this museum, and we were going to Philadelphia. We were going to see the Liberty Bell and blah, blah, do all the Philadelphia stuff. And my wife had heard about this museum, and she was like, well, we should check this out. It's got like all these people talking about it. And I was like, yeah, sure. Okay. I'm up for new things, he said.
Well, they're not new things, though, by the sound of it.
They're not new things. They were very old things. So we go into this museum, and we're walking around, and quite frankly, I was horrified at what I was seeing. It was like, oh, everywhere I looked, it was like, oh, there's something else that's horrible. And after a while, Tracy and Peter loved it. they were like looking at all the different things. And Guy and I, we were like, we're going to be downstairs in the lobby. So when you guys are done, you can come back and we can leave here screaming. I don't want to be here anymore. So, and I swore, Gaz, I would never, ever go to this museum again. But, however, there is an exhibit that is supposed to be related to Dracula. Of course, we're going into the Halloween season. So the Muddy Museum, which is already filled with dead things, Gaz, has this exhibit that's related to, I guess, Dracula and Vlad the Impaler and all that. And this is where my wife wants to meet her friend and her friend's husband on our way back from Long Island. And as she will, and I'm the kind of guy who likes to go along to get along. It's like, okay.
You're too nice, man. You're too nice. You got to be harder.
I think that's a lot of it right there. It's like, I don't want the drama. I'll talk about the drama here.
Yeah.
But in real
the
life,
listeners love listening to your drama.
The drama is everywhere.
They do call you a drama queen.
I bet they do. I won't be on next week. The week after that, the show will be open with me going, ah! Anyway, but we're going to have a good time. We're going up there to Long Island, not to the Mutter Museum, but to Long Island to see Jim Gaffigan, who is a very well-known comedian here in the United States. He's very funny. And we're going to have a wonderful time, not only going to see him, but cruising around Long Island and maybe going to Manhattan and doing New York stuff. So that'll be fun.
Cool. Very
now,
good.
You, on the other hand, did not go to a museum filled with dead things.
No, we didn't.
And I'm going to guess, this is a guess.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that no one on your trip said, hey, let's go to a museum filled with dead things.
Funnily enough, nobody did. That's incredible. Actually.
I'm stunned.
So
tell us.
If anybody who doesn't know, who had picked up the fact that I was going to be away on a bit of a jolly, I'm coming to the big 6-0, as are many of my friends. One of those particular friends,
been there, done that.
Yeah, I know you have. But one of my particular friends, who is doing very well for himself, thank you very much, decided to invite a group of us on an all expenses, yes, I said it, an all expenses paid trip to Spain. And we all went, oh, we can't do that. That's we can't, no. And he said, no, I insist. And we can, okay, all right, fine. If you want to do that, we'll do it. But if you have to. However, he then subsequently, over the weeks after he'd told us about this, started dropping some bombshells, Guy. One of which was that we were going in an exclusive hotel, which only had, I think, about 5 or 6 bedrooms. And they look after you. You are the VIP guests, and especially if you take the whole hotel, you're extremely VIP guests.
Yeah.
It's it's not an exclusive restaurant. Not an exclusive restaurant which is connected to it, but it's on a beachfront. So it's got all of the beds and you can book, and people go there. It's not easy. It's not that it's not easy to get to, but it's awkward parking and, it's out of the way, but it is packed all the time. So it's a really popular place and it's not cheap. The restaurant is not cheap.
What?
So he drops this on us that we're going to this exclusive hotel. Oh my word. So that's one of the first things. Then he drops in. They only do it 4 or 5 times a year, generally when the hotel is booked by one group, but it only happens 4 or 5 times a year. They have what they call is a chef's table, which is a 10-course meal. Not only do they have the 10-course meal, which is cooked beside you, it's all, it's got all the, and the chef comes out and he's basically is yours all night, right?
Before before you get off the 10-course meal, what is I mean, to me, 3 courses is like, okay, you have a salad, you have a steak, you have a dessert. And I'm sitting there thinking 10 course, my God, I would get to course 4 and be like, there's more?
Yeah, but the thing is, Guy, you don't get quite as bigger portions, right? Because
tiny.
you wouldn't survive. No, they were no, they weren't. They weren't tiny. They were still quite substantial. Anyway, so we have this 10-course meal. With the 10-course meal, he also says, don't look at the wine list, folks. He said, because they have a selection of different wines which accompany each of the courses.
Okay,
right?
So not only are you stuffed, you're drunk at the end of 10 courses.
Okay, so that's the one big thing. So that's enough for anybody, isn't it? That's enough for anybody. Then he drops on us. Yeah, I don't fancy going out. We were going to go out by Ryanair and come back by EasyJet, or come back by Ryanair. I can't remember. He drops on us. I fancy going out in style, folks. Let's get a private jet. So we're kind of, Mum, how much is it? Are you dying? You know, is there something wrong with you?
Getting rid of all your money before you die.
Yeah. Look, you've got kids, but it's fine. If you want to spend it inheritance on us, that's fine. So that gets booked as well. So we don't come back by private jet, but we do go out by private jet. Then he drops on us. Yeah. And on the Friday, so we're going out on the Thursday, we get there mid-afternoon on the Thursday, but the whole day on Friday, he's booked a yacht with all the toys on it. A yacht.
A yacht.
With all the toys on it, you know, sea bobs, jet skis, paddle boards, all of it. And we spent the whole day on it.
Sounds awful.
You know, Guy, how the other half live. It was fabulous. I have to say. And
you know what the worst part is? The worst part for people who do it all the time, they get out on one of these yachts or these private jets, and they're like, isn't this over yet?
Well, yeah. Well, the funny thing was the plane back was a normal cheap flight, and it took forever. It seemed the flight out seemed to go like that, but it was fabulous. But they were the same flight time.
Yeah.
But there was so we were in a private lounge to leave. We're in a private lounge when we arrived in Malaga. I mean, the service on the plane. You've got plates and knives and forks, proper plates and knives and forks. On this plane.
They were like, and the cockpit wasn't locked.
Oh no! Our friend, we thought we were all going to have a go in the cockpit, but we were having such a good time that we didn't get up there until towards the end when they said, so do you want to come up to him? No, they got the central seat. They invited him up, and he sat there for 10 minutes before landing and during landing. He was up all the time. It was just, I mean.
You don't get that on Ryanair.
Well, here's another thing. So the flight was taken. The flight was taken off at 10 o'clock. At 1:45, now we'd all got there early, right? So we could make the most of all of the accoutrements. Yeah. Basically the champagne, you know. At 9:45, we're thinking, what's going on? And they came out a minute or two later and says, would you like to come aboard the plane now? And we're thinking, well, it's going to be late, isn't it? Oh, no. There's private security just next door. They take us the other side of this wall from where we've been sat, and we went through security individually, privately, straight through. Well, it wasn't straight through because you obviously they're still doing a proper security check. But basically, you're front of queue. Well, it wasn't a queue. It was us. We were the queue.
Yeah, I was going to say. 747?
Yeah. Just incredible, Guy. Absolutely incredible. The yacht was superb. The private jet was superb. The hotel was superb. The food was superb. We've all come back, and basically now this is where it kicks in to me.
You have to decompress after all that.
Well, yeah, we kind of get back, and it is a bit of a letdown. In fact, on the way back, the same bus driver who picked us up and took us to the hotel was the same guy taking us back, and he was taking us, and then the lead guy who took us, I won't mention his name, he said, he went running up to the start of the bus, and he went, no, EasyJet. And the bus driver, who's Spanish, obviously went, EasyJet, you fake millionaire. Because he knew that he'd picked us up from the private area first time round.
Well, what he didn't know is that you guys actually arrived on EasyJet and just ran over to where
yeah, that's right. Well, also one of us actually, a few of us were going to do this, but we'd worn these T-shirts. We got him special T-shirts with pictures of him and hashtag his name and the 60 on it. But on the back, on the way back, one of us had written, "What no private jet." So he got that T-shirt and made sure he was in front of him. Just incredible how the other half live. Anyway, I took lots of pictures. I took my GoPro, I took my iPhone, and there were lots of pictures taken by everybody.
Yeah, I saw some of them. So you didn't. I'm sure you didn't put all of them on Facebook, but I did see some of the ones you did put there.
No, not at all. But I mean, a lot of the group, in fact, all but one of the group actually had iPhones. So I did a shared album, and they started. Was it the millionaire
that had Android?
No, it wasn't actually.
Okay, just checking. It's kind of like, now we know why he makes all of his money.
No,
he doesn't buy iPhones every year.
No, yes. So, so I did a shared album and brought them in, but then I started to do something a bit special because one of them had actually done a bit of a photo album, and it looked okay, but I thought, right, I'm not having that. I'm not having that, because I know that most of them don't have Macs. Most of them still have either a PC or don't have a PC, but they have the iPhone. So I got ScreenFlow out and started basically photo bombing them with different variant images. I used the video separately and I put them on. I did one with a Bond theme because obviously on the boat we'd done the jet ski and the sea bobs, and that is superb. You ever get to go on a sea bob, which is one of these things.
I'm not sure what it's. I know what a jet ski is.
Okay, so it's about, I don't know, 2 or 3 feet long, possibly a bit short, to about 2 feet long, perhaps a bit longer, and it's got obviously a jet in it, and you kind of hold on to it and you sit over it, and you basically, it's got a jet on it, so it takes you around the water, but it can go underwater as well. So you can actually, you just lean on it and it goes underwater. You've got to hold your breath, like, guy.
Okay, it's sort of like a jet ski, but bigger.
But smaller, because you're just holding on to it. It's, you almost sit on top of it. It's almost like
it looks individual.
It looks, yes.
Okay.
It looks like a bomb, actually. And you're kind of sitting on top of, you're laying on top of it, and you can direct it. You have to lean, and but it just great fun, absolutely great fun.
Was anyone in the group named James?
Well, I did a collage of all of the jet skis and the sea bobs, and did a bomb theme video and sent it out.
I was just say it'd be bomb, James Bomb.
Very good. Anyway, I used ScreenFlow to do loads of videos, and one of the things that I did
it's a great program.
on MyMac was also I export. A lot of them had been taking photos, live photos.
Mm-hmm.
So I basically exported those photos so I could get the videos from. Okay. The 1 to 2.
They're like little 3-4 second.
Well, it all depends. Because if you don't hold the button long enough, it won't take the live photo. Sometimes it's short, so they're all 1 to 3 seconds long. No long. I don't think they're no longer than 3 seconds. Anyway, some were between 1 and 3 seconds. So I basically got them all out in order and just put them all together. And I just
nice.
And it was really good, actually, because, you don't often see the live video, do you? You see the photo and then somebody says, oh, it's a live video. And then you look at it. But it's a one-off thing every time on your phone. So I put all of these together, and a lot of them have been taken through the course of the holiday, from the very start, getting on the plane, almost to the end. So it made its own story. I didn't do any transitions because they're only short video clips.
Yeah, you can't really do a transition with
not really
1 to 3 second videos. Just like
no, not easy.
What was it? It's a picture.
Yeah. So obviously there was sound on them as well, and I left the sound on them because there was some expletives on there occasionally, but that was fine. And yeah, it worked a treat. So
Nice.
ScreenFlow is my friend at the moment. I also did a special one for the guy who bought it all, paid for it all,
Yeah.
with him as the key component in each of the videos. And I did all sorts of effects, and I asked him for his favorite music, and I basically blended those two music in and put it over, and I did that in GarageBand, extracted that music, overlaid it onto the video, and it just come out superb. So
Excellent.
memories. We've got them for a lifetime now, and we're still laughing and joking and thinking back to it. But that just superb. If you ever get the opportunity to go on a private jet or a yacht, guy, don't say, "Oh no, I've got to go and see Aunt Matilda," or go to that,
That Ravens game or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to go on this private jet and then go, but I've got this Ravens football game that I've already committed to.
Yeah. Well, funnily enough, we were quite lucky on the yacht as well, because the sea was almost flat calm. So we had a superb day for that. If it had been rough at all, it wouldn't have been quite as nice. So everything just fell into place. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, Guy. That's why I couldn't make last week.
I am not at all jealous, Gaz. Not the slightest bit. And Carl wasn't last week either.
I bet he wasn't. No, I haven't yet. I haven't, because I've got a lot of catching up to do on another.
Yeah, we had a few choice things to say.
I bet you did. Can I say, Carl, if you're listening, Arsenal beat Spurs 3-1 today.
Actually, you may be talking to him next week if you invite him on.
Yes.
To the podcast, because I won't be on next week.
Yeah, the only issue is we've got a couple of things.
I'll be someplace dead.
Yes, you will.
But
I might be somewhere alive, so it all depends. So,
okay, yeah.
I think we should move on before I make everybody else really pig sick as well. Let's get into Gazzy snippets. Okay, Apple executives have had to respond to the annoying iOS 16 copy and paste prompt, although I think it's now been fixed, I believe. Is that correct?
I believe so, with 1602. Yeah.
But yes, there's a few things that are going on with software from Apple at the moment, which are rather annoying. Problems. Well, all sorts of problems. I just wonder if, the ethics and ethos from Mr. Johnny Ive now is gone. Perhaps they've just got a bit slapstick in some of their processes.
Well, and you know what the worst part is?
I'm joking, folks.
This is happening to the pro models, not the regular models.
Yeah.
So indeed. You people who paid extra for better cameras and stuff. I forgot. We're kidding.
No, we're not.
Really,
we're
really
kidding.
Serious.
Yeah, we're really serious. One thing I haven't mentioned, actually, which I should have done in my piece, is I haven't noticed the fact that I've got an SE over my previous watch, Guy. It's not. I'm thinking I made the right choice in getting an SE.
I'm thinking you did too.
So really loving it. I haven't noticed the fact that I never used the ECG, or hardly ever anyway. So anyway, that's a different. Let's get back onto Gazzy snippets. Meta have been sued for skirting Apple privacy rules to snoop on users. Well, there's a surprise. Apple TV Plus streaming 5 classic Sidney Poitier films to celebrate a new documentary release. I'd like to see the documentary, actually, when it comes on board. Apple Pay Later launch delayed. Apple Pay Later launch delayed. Apple Pay Later. That's what threw me there.
I know.
So Apple Pay Later launch has been delayed, perhaps into 2023. I don't even know what Apple Pay Later is. So.
Well, it's basically because with Apple Pay, it's taking the money right out of your checking account or saving, wherever it is that you have it set up.
It's like
more like a credit card. Yeah, it's more like a credit card. So they're going to delay the later. Later is delayed.
But that makes sense, doesn't it?
It kind of does.
Not ironic at all.
Not at all. At 12% interest. So it's going to be even later than that. 12% more later.
Super. Apple's London HQ in Battersea Power Station finally to set open early next year. Might go down and see that if I can. If it's a HQ, hang on a minute. Apple's London HQ. Oh, that may mean that I can't go and see it because it'll be obviously only for employees. Apple has published a new design guidelines for live activities on the iPhone 14's Pro's Dynamic Island. Good for them. Haven't got one.
Yeah,
Won't
there's
use
already an
it.
Android copy of it, by the way.
Well,
Not a big surprise.
no. Apple and other companies are concerned as India tries to push its own GPS system. Not quite sure I got that. I put that in, and it was basically obviously baiting you because it said Apple and other companies. Well, obviously Google will be concerned about that, probably more than Apple, if I'm honest.
Well, so India has their own GPS system, and so they want to use that instead in India.
Correct.
Well, then what's the big deal? So go ahead.
Well, however, there are other technologies that provide precise location by satellite. Now India is trying to push NavIC, its own navigation system. Apple and other companies seem to be worried about this. We'll have to wait and see what happens there on that one. Don't quite know why India are doing that. Possibly, just to get command over it. I can understand that to a degree. Apple has boosted the UK developer community with App Store Foundations program. So the UK program to begin with focus on supporting female founders. There you go. I'm just reporting what it says. iPad Pro is revolutionizing how archaeologists preserve the history of Pompeii. Apparently, archaeologists share how they use iPad Pro and Apple Pencil to capture data in the excavation site at Pompeii. Well done, them.
Yeah, it's mostly like this.
Yeah, they're hardly moving, are they?
It's not like they're going anywhere.
It's a bit like dead people in that museum that you're going to.
Yeah, it's like just send them to the mutter.
We shouldn't joke.
No.
Apple shifts some iPhone 14 production from China to India. Well, yeah, that's a long-term thing. Next time it'll be from India to somewhere else. Watch as iPhone. I laughed at this, but then I like the headline and what I was going to say. That watch the iPhone 14 crash detection being put to the ultimate test by totaling 4 cars. And I thought, wow, that must have been really expensive.
While you were gone, there was actually a story about a guy who decided to do exactly that, but with his own car.
Oh my word!
It was in the Mac press. It was like, I read that, and it was like, really? Okay.
Well, okay. Yes, but how expensive was his car? Because I later found out that they were using rather old, battered.
Yeah, I'm sure it was like cars, a Yugo or something like that.
But I did find out. I just thought it was funny, that to imagine them
Fiat
using brand new cars. We'll just go out and get my Jaguar.
my 68 XKE with the V12.
Yeah, just to see if this damn crash detection works.
And all you see is the car upside down flying through the air with the guy behind the seat going, "It works!"
Apparently, an Apple senior manager in his 60s has blamed ageism for not receiving his merit bonus.
Or maybe he was just sitting on his ass because he was an old guy.
A senior manager at Apple this week has sued the company for claiming that he was denied a retention bonus of at least $800,000 because
was Salsa going.
He's gone, mate.
He's
because
gone.
at the age of 64, he was no longer seen as the part of Apple's future. No surprise there, my friend.
Well, Tim Cook just has to get over it.
Yes, Apple can now replace internal battery on the iPad Mini 6 rather than the entire device. Well, that's good. Repairability, man. I think he did this when he was over in the UK, but Tim Cook's been going on about there's no good excuse for the lack of women in tech. No, there isn't. Apple has removed Russia's largest social network from the App Store. Good for them. iOS 16 feature for bypassing captures will soon work with many more websites. That is interesting. I do like the sound of that, if that works, because capture is just a pain in the but
in iOS and iPad OS.
Well, in any browser, doesn't matter where you go. But anyway, iOS 16 feature for bypassing captures will soon work with many more websites. So I don't know, that kind of hints that it's only working on certain websites, which is a bit odd. But anyway, the capture they're talking about is the one where you have to click the how many traffic lights can you see in these images below? Click all of them.
God, I hate those things.
Yeah. Apple's next big car milestone is assembling its team once again. So there will be an Apple car, Guy. I told you there would be. That was me sniggering. Still think it's going to be a service. Ohio State football player has been caught sporting an Apple Watch whilst playing.
Oh. Well, see, crash detection. That's where that all comes back to.
Just incredible.
You have been hit by a 325-pound linebacker. Would you like us to call emergency services? No, ref, flag it.
Flag it. Apple are to announce the quarter 4 2022 earnings on October 27. Watch out for that. It'll be good fun. I bet they won't make any money at all.
No.
Apple's website suggests the iPhone 14 Plus was originally going to be named iPhone 14 Max. Whoopee-doo.
Boy.
Whoop. Well, it's not, though, is it? I mean, someone's dug into this. They've found this, and they've made this as a headline, but it's not called the Max. It's
so who cares?
Yeah. So who cares? Precisely. Just incredible. Tim Cook has picked up a master's degree in innovation and international management whilst he was in Italy.
Well, he'd hit all the sites before, so it was like, I got nothing else to do. Think I'll pick up a degree in design while I'm here in Rome. I won't be able to read the diploma, but it'll say it in Italian.
Apparently, Tim Cook has also said, it's not too long from now you'll wonder how you led your life without AR. Well, let's hope it's soon. Because getting a little bit sick and tired of hearing about it.
Yeah, it's been about 15 years they've been talking about it. And you know what we've gotten so far? Lots of demos of dinosaurs looking through doors. That's pretty much all we've gotten from AR of any significant. I'm tired of AR and 3D and all of that crap.
Now onto a serious bit. Apple are donating to Hurricane Ian relief efforts as storm pummels Florida. Well, it's pummeled more than Florida. So, just
now I still have relatives in Florida. But they're all on the East Coast, fortunately. However, one of my nephews who happened to he was in Germany at the time, but his wife was in Daytona. And she sent me some pictures. Their whole house just got flooded out. Now, what a lot of people don't understand about Florida is it's really, really flat. And when they build homes, it's pretty much at sea level. Everything in Florida is basically at sea level. And when I was a boy, I went through 3-4 hurricanes in the 1960s. However, our house, which was built out of cinder block, weathered each one of those storms with absolutely no problem whatsoever. And because the way our yard was set up, it was slightly raised a little bit. And also, none of these storms that hit us were of like the category 4, almost category 5 that Ian was. So I remember as a boy, once the hurricane had passed, going out onto the street and, riding my bike in the water and all that, which was an incredibly stupid thing to do. But it wasn't up to like our doors and stuff like that. But the whole house was flooded.
Yeah. Well, so our thoughts go out to everybody who's been affected by it. Can you hear Wilf?
I was going to say Wilf isn't happy about it either.
Yeah, no, he's not. I don't know why he's barking. He's barking at something, and I
That's all
can't
right.
leave to tell him to stop. So
We
you'll
will
just have to listen
carry
to him
on.
in the background.
Yes.
Yeah. So our thoughts go out to everyone that's been affected by Hurricane Ian. God bless you.
And hope that you get the help you need soon.
Yep. Apple procurement VP has departed company after a vulgar TikTok comment. I think this guy's a Brit, actually. I think he is. I'm not totally sure. He was certainly wearing a Union Jack waistcoat, though at the moment, I'm going to say nothing about our government. Apart from that, Tony Blevins, the Apple Vice President of Procurement, is set to depart the company after he made a crude comment about his profession in a recent TikTok video. Dear, oh dear, how stupid can you be? Apple has pulled... Oh, and I've done that story already. Apple's career offices raided by an antitrust regulator over allegations it has charged developers... Wait for it, 33% commission, Guy. It's all in the 3%. It's all in the 3%. Reducing Apple's dependence on China by just 10% would take 8 years, according to Bloomberg.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. Apple stopped signing iOS 16 and iOS 16.0.1. Downgrading from 16.0.2 is now no longer possible. You have been warned. More signs of iPhone 14 demand emerge across the resale market and supply chain. Apparently, it's not. The iPhone 14 models have depreciated in value more than twice as much as the iPhone 13 in the same time frame last year. Interesting.
Well, there was, because I know that their stock went down a little bit because there was lots of rumors that the demand wasn't there for the new products as it has been in the past. And,
there's quite a lot happening in the world at the moment. It's not a surprise, is it really?
Well, you wouldn't think so, but apparently analysts are all like, oh. So
Apple Music exclusively streaming Billie Eilish's full O2 Arena concert. Not sure when that's happening, actually. Don't think I'll be watching it.
No,
Billie Eilish is okay.
She's
Billie
fine,
Eilish is okay.
I guess.
Yeah. Apple shares a new Chase ad touting the iPhone 14 Pro camera features. Don't know if you see that. I started watching it, stopped watching it, got bored. It's not that long.
It's an ad.
It's an ad. In a Tim Cook interview, he says, "I'm not really sure the average person can tell you what the metaverse is."
I'm pretty sure he's right.
Yeah, I think he's right. And that, guy, is the end of quite a long, in the end, Gazzy Snippets.
Yeah, the whole thing about the metaverse is like I'm seeing these commercials from Facebook, or sorry, from Meta about
about its verse.
Yeah, you'll be able to perform surgery on realistic avatars, and they show this this woman in in all the surgical gear, and she's cutting on something that's obviously not real, or kids just suddenly appearing inside of a classroom next to each other and doing virtual high. It's like this is your vision, Facebook. This is the most stupidest thing I've seen.
Yeah, there you go. That's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
All right.
So yeah, I've got no more because I think I've done enough.
No link this week?
No Gazzy's link, I'm afraid. So here's Gazzy's link.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, you blink, you missed it. That's how that works.
You blink, you missed it. If you slow the podcast down to you'd have to slow it down to about 1/10. Well, tiny amount. You might hear my link. It was that quick.
It was that fast, and it was it was like one of the first websites out there. It was a one-letter website, i.com. That's what it was. We have this week as a topic, and hopefully this won't take very long, even though I have a long list of things here. There will be links. I have links in the show notes, and I will try. I'm so bad at this. I will try to remember to put all these links in the show notes. So if any of this tech interests you,
Tim will love you if you do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it won't affect him. It'll affect me as I'm trying to put the web page together. And actually, speaking of Tim, thank you for not taking the mymac.com posts that I do in WordPress out from my posts so that I can copy and paste them for the next one, because it's a pain in the neck trying to do it each time. And copy and paste for some reason doesn't work well for me. We're going to talk about, I don't know if you're going to talk about it, Gaz, but I will talk about travel tech, the stuff that I take with me when I go on the road, and the reasons why I take some stuff as compared to times when I take other stuff. So when I travel, I'm either going with an iPad Pro, like I will be doing for this upcoming trip, or my M1 MacBook Pro.
Can I just ask a question? When you're
Sure.
talking about travel here, are you talking about travel with tech that you want to do something with in terms of you're going to do a podcast or some videoing, or are you talking about just traveling like on holiday, something like that?
Both.
Okay, fine.
You know, like when I went to Macstock in July,
Yeah.
when I went down to the USFL football games in Birmingham, I take different tech with me depending on what I expect to be doing while I'm at location. Now, this trip to Long Island, it's just going to be my wife and I, and oddly enough, she has absolutely zero interest in podcasting while we're there. I know.
Can't believe that.
I know it is, and somehow we've managed to remain married for 30 years. And I don't
probably
know if
why. Probably why you've remained married for 30 years.
I don't know if that's a testament to her or a testament to me. Probably her. If I'm going to go to like Macstock or someplace where I expect I'll be doing some podcasting, I will take my M1 MacBook Pro. And regardless of what I'm doing, of course, I'll have my iPhone. For podcasting on the go, I will take, and I just got it. This thing is wonderful. It's the Arturia Mini Fuse 2 audio interface. It's about $150. It's a dual interface. You can plug in up, two microphones without any problem. It's got low noise floor. It's a great little interface. For microphones, I'll do one of two things. In the past, along with the audio interface, I've been taking Sennheiser E835 microphones, which are about $100 each, as well as these. It's the name of the company. I mean, you see this on Amazon all the time. It's stuff that's made in China and people just throw their name on it. But in this case, the ones that I have are from this company called Boseen. They're microphone shock mounts for the SM58 style microphones, about $13. However, when I went to Macstock and when I went down to the USFL game and did a little podcasting down there, instead of taking those things, I took instead 2 Rode NT USB minis, which is those little square microphones that Rode puts out.
Yeah.
And the great thing about those is they were the first company to come out with microphones, USB microphones, that you could plug into the same computer and be able to use them easily separately from one another with the software that they include with it, which is kind of like a mini Rodecaster
Good separation.
Pro. Yeah.
I don't mean separation in sound. I mean separation in the devices. So you can.
And the software that they include with it, and it's all free, is amazing.
Cool.
For a webcam, I've been using the Logitech StreamCam Plus. It's a little square thing, and it's got one of 2 bottoms on it. You can either use the bottom that kind of unfolds that you can put onto a monitor, or it has like a 1/4-inch thread on the bottom of it so that you could put it onto a what do you call it?
Tripod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it works well either way. It's a nice little stream cam, about $100. You can get cheaper ones, but they're not going to look as good as this. For headphones, now here, when I edit this podcast, I'm using Sony MDR 7506 headphones, and they're great. However, when I travel, I use headphones that are about half the cost of that from this company that I've just discovered called One Audio. And it's their Pro 50 headphones. They're about $50 on Amazon. Really super comfortable. As a matter of fact, you won't see this unless you watch the video, but here's the headphones right there. I mean, big cushiony things, and they're great. I really like them.
They're not a bad price either.
Yeah, $50. And they sound, and here's the thing, you can get headphones, cheap headphones, and listen to music and all the rest of that. But most headphones are tuned toward music. If you want studio headphones, which is what you need, because you need to hear exactly what's being recorded so that when you export it, it's as close as possible to what that was. You need like flat response headphones, and the audio at the Sony MDR 7506 and these One Audios both kind of do that, and they sound really good for what they are. Of course,
I'll tell you what. I'm just looking at the UK, and it's got one which is the. I'm just trying to work out if these are the same. I'm not sure.
Are they the Pro 50s or Pro 30s? They have a 30 one also.
It's not really telling me, but these are a little bit. It says one set is not available, and these are available. They're $36.99, so quite a bit cheaper. But I don't know whether it just says One Audio Studio. It says the model name.
Yeah, so many of these companies have very nondescript names for their products, and it's hard to tell one from another.
Yeah. But I don't think I think the ones you're looking at are the next step
different
up, to be honest.
Maybe.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Yes, they are.
But if they, if it's the difference between 36 pounds and 50 pounds for much better sound, spend the extra 14 pounds.
Yeah, definitely. It's just the other ones aren't available. So
that might have something to do with it as well. I always take, regardless, a pair of Apple AirPods, not the AirPod Pros. The AirPod Pros stay here, but I'll take the AirPods with me just for something to listen to while I'm either not really editing, but while I'm actually recording the podcast, so I don't have big cans on my head looking like Princess Leia.
It's not a bad look.
No, well, yeah. What was it? Spaceballs, where they were like cinnamon buns or something like that. They just took them off her head and started eating them or something.
Yeah.
I've found these tripod stands that really, really fold up very, very small. And they're from this company called Mic Top Portable Tripod Stands. I have like 4 of those that I keep with me, 2 for the microphones and 1 or 2 for the webcams.
Cool.
I also take with me this thing. It's the New Soul 15.6-inch portable monitor, because even though I have a 16-inch screen on the M1 MacBook Pro, when you've got as many programs as I typically have open trying to record a podcast with audio and video, you need more screen size. And this one is about $150, and you can connect to it via HDMI, USB-C, different kinds.
It's a bit more expensive unless you're a Prime member, but
yeah.
So how do you link that up to your Mac Pro, I assume?
Yeah, right through USB-C, either through a hub, which I'm about to talk about, or directly, because you've got USB on the M1 MacBook Pros. You have USB-C hubs or ports on either side, which is really nice. Good. For connecting all this stuff, I've got a USB-C 7-port hub. It's got 4 USB-C ports, one of which, of course, you have to use to connect up to your computer, and 3 USB 2 ports. It's about $80 from Amazon, and I don't really have a name for it.
It's got, well, I'm looking at the device. It's got 4 USB ports and obviously a male USB-C cable. So wouldn't you put that into your device?
Oh, you're right.
Into your...
You're right. So you do have 4 USB-C ports
So you have
available.
4. Yeah, cool. Good.
Yeah. The only thing you have to be careful about when you hook up a bunch of stuff to a hub, if you have any devices that require power, you can easily overwhelm that port on your computer so that it won't be able to provide enough power.
Yeah.
I sometimes take with me a Tenmos rechargeable wireless Bluetooth mouse. And the last thing is a -X USB-C charger. It's got 2 USB-C and 2 USB-A ports for charging various devices, because I'll have my AirPods, I'll have my phone, I'll have the iPad, I'll have, like all these different devices that have to be charged at the same time. And not all hotels provide USB charging ports. So more of them do. I'm finding more and more hotels actually have that. And of course, all of this fits in a backpack. I have cases, cables, and adapters. And anytime you're leaving on a trip and you're taking tech gear that's critical to whatever it is you're going to do, before you leave, lay it all out, make sure it all works in the way you expect it to, then repack it and take it with you. Don't find out once you get there, and I found this out the hard way, that something you brought with you doesn't work. Now,
really annoying.
It is, because you can't always find what it is you're looking for later. If I'm just going for fun, like this trip that's coming up, I won't take hardly any of that stuff. I'll just take my iPad Pro, of course, Apple AirPods. I'll take a pair of Sony MDR-ZX310L headphones. Are
we going to start a new section now on how many headphones you've got?
Yeah, what headphones is Guy using today? Now these are little tiny.
How'd you
headphones.
find those?
I have had these probably going all the way back to the Macworld Expo days, when I wanted to make sure that I had headphones for every single person that was going to be talking, even though I found out later you don't really need to do that unless there's somebody that's remote that they need to hear. But these are very small headphones. They fold flat, and it's easy to pack 1 or 2 of them. And you don't want to necessarily take like a great big huge backpack. If you just want to take like a shoulder bag or something like that, you can fit 1 or 2 of these in there, and it's not that big of a deal.
What's interesting, I'm looking at the website. What's interesting is that they are $24.99 US dollars. I don't know what they are in the UK. They're snazzy little headphones. They're not for audiophiles, of course.
No,
but they're $24.99 without the mic. But with a mic, they're $24.14.
Oh, really? So extra tech means it costs less.
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it, Sony.
Wait, somebody in the marketing department said, "What?
Yeah, somebody slap me."
Okay. The other thing I take with me is a Apple Lightning to USB adapter and a Lightning to HDMI adapter, because I will load up my phone and I will load up the iPad with movies and TV shows, just in case the Wi-Fi in the hotel sucks, because who's ever run into that problem? Nobody. And so that way I can connect up either one of those iOS devices directly to a TV set and watch movies. I'll also take that aforementioned USB 7-port hub I was talking about before, the -X charger. Maybe a USB NT USB mini microphone, maybe, not necessarily, but maybe. I'll take Logitech StreamCam Plus if I think I'm going to be doing anything, maybe. Portable tripod stands that I talked about, wireless Bluetooth mouse, USB wired keyboard I will sometimes take with me with the iPad, because even though I've got a smart keyboard on my iPad, it's sometimes a little small and difficult to use. And I will also sometimes, not always, take that new Sol 15.6-inch portable monitor. And depending on where I'm going and what I'm doing, that's the kind of gear that I take with me.
What I'm surprised you've not got on this list, Guy, actually, is a little portable charger, a little battery pack. Because that's one thing
I actually don't have any of those. I don't.
Do you not?
I don't have a single one of those.
I use them quite a lot, actually, especially when I'm traveling. They're just useful. And when we went out on the yacht, of course, I took one then because I thought a few people might want to, charge up their devices.
Charge up in between martinis that want to charge their devices.
Absolutely.
One of those meal
really
classes.
Really important. Yeah. Okay. Well, I've got some, and I always take some, especially when we go walking. I suppose the difference is you're going to take it if you're going to be going on a trip where you might have a long time not near power.
Yes.
Yeah.
So have you got a list like this, or are we going to move on from there?
No, I've got no list like that. Basically, my list created, I'll take an iPad. I'll take an iPad nearly every time I go away, wherever I go, even if it's just for a night or two. I take my iPad. Then obviously I take my headphones, whichever ones I've got available. It's normally these little Sony ones. Actually, I can't remember what number they are, but I've actually recently bought some more Dre's. I would like some AirPods, but I really,
honestly, guys, get a pair of the earphones. They sound really good, and they're like $25-$30.
Yeah,
I've talked about them before.
Yeah, okay, I might have a look. Anyway, so I've got those, and I might take some battery packs if I know that we're going to be away from power for some time. But I'm not doing any podcasting or anything like that generally when I'm away. So it's the phone, the iPad, plenty of cables, headphones, and battery packs. What I do take though is I take an extension lead.
Yes.
And obviously a travel adapter, because you go to Europe, we need travel adapters. So I'll always take a travel adapter unless we're going in the UK, but I'll also always take an extension lead, because the plugs in places where you go and stay aren't always in the right spot.
Yes.
So it's useful to have a little extension lead. And the extension lead I've got has also got a couple of USB charging ports on it as well. So it's quite useful.
Yeah, I've got one of those with like a 6-foot cable, and it wraps around it. So it actually I didn't even think about that. It compacts down. It's got like 4 US style power plugs and 3 USB-A ports on it. And the cord that actually plugs into the wall wraps around it, so it makes it really small, about that big.
Yeah, about yay big. So everybody listening knows what yay big is.
Yeah, it's yay big.
Yeah. Cool. I'm nodding my head.
We're all nodding.
Bit of a reminder tip, this one. Remember, by holding down a letter on your Mac keyboard rather than just by typing, obviously hitting it and letting go, rather pressing and holding, if available for that letter, a foreign character or a character with an accent will be shown on screen above the typed letter. By clicking the letter with your mouse, or by pressing the equivalent number, which will be shown just below the letter, while still pressing the letter on your keyboard, it will then replace the character with that special character that you require. Really quite useful if you need something with an accent, and occasionally I do, but it's one of those things that you often forget. Just by holding down the letter on your keyboard, you'll then see the options jump out on you on screen. And another quick reminder, because people, I sometimes forget this, Command plus Tab means that you can switch between your open applications. Don't forget it.
Yep.
These are quick tips which you probably know that you knew, you just forgot to use them. Yes.
Yep. Okay.
I've got head movements for all of these now, Guy.
I know. Well, I've used the same ones in the same order. See, one of these times I'll do them out of order, and it'll mess everybody up.
Yeah, it will.
It'll mess me up too, which means I probably will never do it.
Yeah, that's correct. So when someone does something out of order like this,
his name was Guy.
So, shall we move on?
Do we have to?
No fool.
Thank you. Real quick, please, if you can, go to the timeout.com list for your helpful Ukrainian donation sites, or if that's no longer available, you can just go to the Ukrainian Red Cross or Doctors Without Borders and leave a donation there, and that will help out the Ukrainians in their time of need. They are, right now, they're kicking ass.
Yes. Or if you perhaps you want to do something closer to home, obviously there are, I'm sure, websites that we haven't got any linked here at the moment, trying to help out those people that have been affected by Hurricane Ian as well.
Well, the Red Cross will have donation links.
Also, if you go over to www.ukgov.com, it's not ukgov.com, it's uk.gov. I think our present Parliament needs Prime Minister and Chancellor needs as much help as they can get. And if I could get my hands around the neck, I'd show them the sort of help that I'd give them.
Yes.
But let's move on.
Okay. We have an audio thing, and I forgot to put it in, but I'm going to do that.
Oh dear!
I'm just going to drop it right in, right there.
You're going to drop it right in, and then you're just going to play it without even worried about it.
Unless this is the same one from
So
Marcus.
while Guy's doing that, folks, there may or may not be a podcast next week. It all depends whether I can tie up with Guy. I have got a few things which have suddenly crept up over the weekend. So I may or may not be able to do one. So if you don't hear one next week, don't be too upset. But I
Let
will
it go. We've been doing this for like 12, 13 years.
Yeah.
And every once in a while we miss a week, and we're sorry. We don't mean to.
but we'll see what happens.
Okay, I'm going to play this. This is from Marcus, and I'm hoping it's not the same one from last week. But
which Marcus?
U.S. Marcus. No, I don't want to say his last name.
No. But I thought it was. Didn't we have a Marcus NY and?
No, that's Greg. We have that's Greg. NY Greg and NC Greg.
NY Greg. Sorry. Yeah. So my mistake. I forgot. Slap my wrist. Hi, Marcus. I forgot you.
Okay, no, I'm going to stop. That's the same one we did at the end of the show last week.
Okay, good.
Okay,
cool.
So if you would like to be like Marcus and have about 10 seconds of your recording played before I stop it, all you have to do is send us some feedback through like Skype or really just send it to our email address so you can record.
You're out of sync now, aren't you? You are really flapping, aren't you? I can tell you really are
struggling
at the moment.
I'm really struggling.
Do you want me to take over?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay, so if you want to send us some feedback, there are lots and lots of ways to do it. You know all of the ways, but Guy would really like you to send in an audio clip. We're going to tell you how to send in an audio clip, or to. You did it again then, too.
I know,
You're
I was just getting rid of it
now, aren't you?
Sorry.
So, getting rid of it. Marcus, did you hear what he said he's doing to you? Yes, send in an audio clip to any of the upcoming ways, or do some feedback. Give us some 5 stars or 1 star. We don't mind.
No.
Either or will do fine.
But you got to tell us.
Guy.
Yeah.
You got to tell us, because, who looks at those things anymore? You could get a wooty if you do it. Yes, you
could. Good or bad?
Good or bad?
Yeah. A good one will get a huge wooty. Bad one, little tiny. It'll be like barely legible wooty.
Do you want me to tell the people how they can contact me, Guy?
Yes, please.
Send an email to Gaz, G-A-Z,
Cars,
at mymac.com, or on the Twitters, twitter.com/GazMazGAZ. You can also contact both Guy and myself on the Twitters, twitter.com/Guy and Gaz, GYANDGAZ. You can also send an email to feedback, FWEDBCAK. What? That's not right. FWEDBACK at mymac.com.
That thing.
Now.
His name was Guy.
He's the guy.
Guy's the one.
Pay no attention to that guy behind the curtain.
Guy says, I like to go with Guy.
You remember Guy? Guy.
Guy?
Guy? My guy?
So Guy.
Just who is this guy?
By being the good guy.
Who the hell even knows who this guy is?
I think Guy's like a symbol.
No fool.
If you want.
An email from Guy.
How would they do it,
Oh.
Guy?
It is so very simple. Open the email client of your choice, and then in the send field, put in guy at mymac.com or podcast at vertshark.com. Either way, it'll get to me. You can also go on over to the Twitters, and you can write to and subscribe to Mac Parrot and or VertShark over there on the Twitters. What else? There's also the hasn't been updated in God knows how long, vertshark.com webpage that's broken, and I'll get it fixed sooner or later. What else? There's the VertShark over on YouTube. It's that thing over on YouTube where you can see all of the videos. You can catch all of the audios not only on mymac.com, where you will get the exclusive before and after show on the mymac.com podcast through mymac.com. But if that's too hard, you can just go and subscribe to Guy's Daily Drive. You'll get the same podcast minus all that stuff, along with bonus Guy's Daily Drive, where I sit in my car and record stuff on my way to work, because that was a smart decision always. But if you want to leave us audio feedback, it's so easy to do. Just go and dial 1 or +1 outside of the United States, 703-436-9501. Or that number again is 1 or +1 outside the United States, 703-436-9501. If a 1 or a +1 in front of an already super long 10-digit number is just too much for you to handle, go right into the Skype application and dial 703-436-9501. Yes. And I would like to say,
done.
I know.
Well done.
I'm almost out of breath. I would like to say thank you. Thank you to everyone, every single one of you. You guys are freaking-tastic.
Awesome.
You are all Steve Jobs awesome. Thank you for downloading and listening to the mymac.com podcast. Greatly appreciated. We just can't thank you enough. Send us an audio comment and you will get an amazing woo tea. Now, I'm kind of lost. If I think, Gaz, that this week I'm having serious issues, but I think besides all that, I think that we were good enough. Yep.
Maybe.
And I think that one of us, and I'm not saying who.
No.
Well, no, this way. Was smart enough. You'll have to watch the video to catch that. And that barking wolf, doggone it, woof, that cute little pup. People like us.
Guy, I don't play soccer because I like the sport. I play it because I do it for kicks. End.
home and there's nothing to worry about. Get out of here now. Go on home and go home.